Happy Haitian Flag Day! Alright, so today we're going to be doing cric
Flag!
N'a pas des histoires nan jou fête drapeau haïtien. So let's get started. The first one we have is a little Creole tale. It's called Jean Jean Content. Okay. Jean Jean Content pas jam pas cher pour longtemps. Tout le monde connaît Jean Jean Content, toujours appris. Yon jour, ti l'andeng dit, m'a réussi faire Jean Jean Content fâché jodia. Sa ou tande a, li tombe rele chemise Jean Jean Content, li plaide tire ke rad Jean Jean Content pour grand merci. Jean Jean Content te pousse même, ti l'andeng, sans li pa fait colère. Tilandeng te obligé ri. Li pa rive fait Jean Jean Content fâché. Jean Jean Content toujours jouen temps pour parler à tout le monde. Yon jour, mademoiselle Fouilladou te gagne tout crayon couleur Jean Jean Content. Crayon te simasse tout côté. Jean Jean Content te parle clair ak mademoiselle Fouilladou. Remette crayon yo le place yo. Jean Jean Content te parle sans li parler, sans li pas jouer. Comme ça, mademoiselle Fouilladou te ramasse crayon yo sans pas sauter. Jean Jean Content te sourit. Bali en rien, li dil merci. Jean Jean Content toujours à chanter. Yon jour, ti maï yo tombe fait bruit dans tête Jean Jean Content. Yo te fait bruit sans arrêter. Jean Jean Content te mette main dans tête. Mais li pa rele sou ti moun yo. Li te mande ti moun yo pe, et puis li ti di yo, est-ce que nous voulons chanter avec? Tout le monde répond oui. Jean Jean Content te chanter pour maman yo. I, nous tape appris. Que content. Puis quand fâché. Oh, on bat bravo. Si maman yo te prend plaisir chanter avec Jean Jean Content. Yo te sourit avec lui. En pile nan yo te tombe ri, yo tout te content. Jean Jean Content remet tout ti moun yo. Li ba yo bon jan. Li toujours fait que yo content. Li jouer avec yo, li raconte yo belle ti histoire. Ak Jean Jean Content, ti moun pa fâché pour longtemps. Okay, that's it. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one in Creole. Now I'm going to read what was almost like a true story, a tale from Haiti, and it's called Buki Dances the Kokioko. Alright, so there was once a king of Haiti who loved dancing. He loved dancing more than anything else in the world. If he could, he would have invited dancers to perform for him every evening of the week. Unfortunately, he did not have enough money in his treasury to pay for them. One evening after dinner, the king was sitting in the garden and a song came to him. Kokioko, o samba, ah la la la, ah la la. Kokioko, o samba, ah la la la, ah la la. The king sang his song several times. Then, sniffing the soft air, He stood up, swaying back and forth. The king slowly began to make up a dance to accompany his song. Kokioko, oh samba, now I can dance, now I dance like this. Samba oh, samba ah. The king moved his chest from side to side. Next, he added his arms and hips. When it came to the samba dance, he clapped his hands and turned in a circle. The king was very pleased with his dance. No dancer could make up such a wonderful dance, he thought. But of course, there was always those who think they can do anything. Just then, the king understood how he could continue to watch dancing every night while keeping his treasury full. The next morning, the king announced that he would pay 5,000 goud to anyone who could dance the kokioko. No one had any idea what the kokioko was, but that evening, a long line of dancers waited outside the palace, hoping they might be able to guess the steps of the king's dance. That night, the king saw some of the most splendid dancing he'd ever seen, and all for free, for no one was able to guess the steps of the kokioko. The next night, it was the same thing, and the night after that. Once a young woman happened to do the first steps of the kokioko, swaying her chest to the left and to the right, the king sat up in excitement. But then, the woman clapped in this section instead of during samba dance. Another time, a young man moved his chest, arms, and hips as the king had done, but he didn't clap his hands for the last part. Months passed. The king watched dancer after dancer, never tired of the music or dancing, but always after the dancers and servants left for the evening, and the king danced the kokioko by himself so he would not forget it. Well, one evening, after working all day, Malise, the king's gardener, was on his way home when he realized that he had forgotten his straw hat. He needed it to protect himself from the bright morning sun, so he returned to the palace. As Malise approached the garden, he heard someone singing the kokioko song. He wondered who could be singing for the hopeful dancers already gone home. As Malise came closer, he recognized the king's voice. Malise tiptoed even closer. The king was singing and dancing. Quickly, Malise hid behind a tree and watched the king dance the kokioko in the moonlight. Malise followed the king's every movement with greedy, eager eyes. He did not move. He hardly breathed until the king had finished his dance and gone into the palace. Malise then ran home to show the steps of kokioko to his wife. Madame Malise was delighted with her clever husband, who explained how he intended to win the 5,000 gouds without even entering the contest. The next morning, Madame Malise woke her husband early, and they ate breakfast as the roosters were crowing. Before going to the palace, Malise went to visit his old friend Buki. Buki, Malise said in a high, sweet voice, you and I have been friends for years. You've always helped me. Now I want to do something really great for you. Oh, said Buki in his slow, gruff voice. He had been friends with Malise long enough to know that you were better off before Malise came along. No one was trickier than Malise. Oh, thank you, Malise, Buki slowly answered, but I really don't need any help. Buki, Malise could not be stopped. Do you know what I saw last night? I saw the king dancing the kokioko in his garden. I saw every step he made, Malise continued. I can't dance it, for I'm the king's servant and he would suspect me. But I can teach you the steps and you can win the 5,000 gouds. Now, 5,000 gouds was a lot of money, especially for Buki, who had made little Bukis to feed. It was also a lot of money for Malise, who had many little Malises. Show me the dance, said Buki, forgetting the years of tricks Malise had played on him. Malise danced and sang Kokioko o Samba. Now I dance like this. Buki tried to follow Malice's movements, but he was so fat and awkward, he nearly fell over. Kokio! Never mind, said Malice cheerfully. I'll be back tonight to teach you. Well, do a little bit every night and you'll learn it. 2 months later, Buki and Malice joined the line of dancers waiting outside the king's palace. When it was Buki's turn, he went in alone and danced for the king. It was a very fat dancer who danced to Kokioko, but it was the Kokioko. There was no doubt about it. Buki had moved his chest, his arms, his hips, and clapped and turned exactly as the king had done. The king was flabbergasted, amazed, stunned, and had no choice but to give Buki his reward. Buki rushed joyously out of the palace with his sack of 5,000 goods. Malice, I've won, Buki shouted. Malice and Buki walked gaily home through the forest, but as they passed a large breadfruit tree, Malice suddenly stopped and said, Buki, now that you can do the Kokioko, I'm going to teach you one of the easiest dances there is. Great, said Buki. Malice moved his rump, shook his head, and sang, If you have no sense, put your sack on the ground and dance. Oh, that's easy, said Buki, especially for someone who knows how to dance. Buki put his sack on the ground, he moved his rump, shook his head, and sang, Good, said Malice. Now faster. Malice closed his eyes, threw his arms in the air, and danced and sang faster and faster. If you have no sense, put your sack on the ground and dance. Oh, I can do that, Buki said, and he too closed his eyes, threw his arms in the air, shook his whole body, and danced with Malice. Buki's eyes were shut tight when Madame Malice crept out from behind him. Quietly, she picked up Buki's sack and tiptoed back into the woods and continued to sing. If you have no sense. A branch in the woods cracked. Buki opened his eyes, looked at the ground. His sack was gone. Buki, my sack, my sack. Buki, did you put it on the ground? Malice said. Yes, of course I did, said Buki. Oh, Buki, no. I tried to warn you, said Malice, and he disappeared into the night singing, If you have no sense, put your sack on the ground and dance. The end. Alright. Thank you again for watching. It's going to be a great and wonderful May 18th. Happy Haitian Flag Day.